Alright, what is up everybody? This is Imyt here, back again for a little bit of more Starcraft 2 action. This game, as you know it, brought to you by the one and only Reddit/r/castit. The poster here, Zukas, the Protoss in the bottom left-hand corner. He is an off-racing GM player. This should be interesting. Off-races are always fun. And up here in the top right-hand corner, Imyt! Imyt, the green Zerg player. Imyt. So, Zukas posted this replay at /r/castit. It got some downvotes, and he didn't know why, so I said, you know what, I'm going to cast this for you. Because everybody deserves their games to be casted if they want them to be. So, Protoss player going to go out here and drop a pylon. Probably going to do a Forge Fast Expand, because as Naniwal said, Forge Fast Expand or die trying. See if Zukas subscribes to that ideology or not. Yeah, as I said, this game is courtesy of the subreddit /r/castit, a great opportunity to get your replays casted, and a great opportunity to cast some games if you've never done it before. You know, if you're a double extractor trick going down there, I always think that's so cool. If you're listening to this cast, you think, well, that can't be that hard. Then it's not. Then, you know, just come check it out. Come, you know, come try it out. Come see if you like it. You know, it's fun. It's fun to do. I almost do this more than playing now. So oh, the drone pool is not going to get anything. You know, that's one of those things, the drone pool, in my opinion, that if it works out, it's a really cool thing because it's just nifty. You kill a drone if you do. But if not, you kind of just waste a little bit of mining time. The spawning pool there going down on 15 now that he's at 14 supply. So he's going to go for that pool first and then take an expansion. You got to get the Zerglings out to clear that probe. That, and you don't want to get Nexus. You don't want to get cannoned. But this probe's not in a position to drop a Forge. He's in a position to drop a Nexus. What's he going to drop here? I'm kind of curious. And the Nexus first out of the Protoss player. Risky. Now, when is the Zerg going to scout this? And as you can see, the Protoss expansion, or the Zerg expansion rather, just went down without any trouble. Yeah, when's the Zerg going to scout this, and what's his reaction going to be? Because, you know, if you go see into this Nexus first, it just screams Baneling all in, and, you know, Roach all in. But, I'm not sure. So, we'll have to see what'll happen here. A little bit of supply block here for the Zerg player. It's going to be difficult for him to get out more drones that he needs. Because any time that the Protoss is on par with you in economy, that's bad news bears as a Zerg player. I'm a Zerg player, and whenever I see a Protoss get up a base, it's almost pretty much game over in the late game, because you just, you know, you can't do anything about it. But the Zerg player, being a smart cookie, seeing this whole thing, he sees the expansion. He said, "I'm just going to go ahead and take a third. I'm gonna play your game." And this gasless third is something we've been seeing a lot of Zerg players do lately. And can Zukas see it? I don't think so. No, we cannot. But this gasless third is something a lot of Zergs have been doing lately, Stefano style. And 4 Lings are here into the natural. They're gonna get up into the main, or 3 Lings are gonna get up in the main. They are going to get up in the main before the cannon finishes. What are they going to go after? Just go after the pylon. 3 Zerglings against that many probes probably isn't the best idea. And a pylon going to go down here in the back, probably for a cannon. Kind of curious to see what Zukas is doing with this probe. We're probably going to drive a proxy pylon. But as this pylon falls, it is not going to block the Protoss player. And in fact, it'll be just fine. But now the Zerglings are going to start to go to work. And the cannon going down in the mineral line, that should mark the end of this aggression. He's only got a little bit more time left to do damage, so I think he's just going to keep these Zerglings in here, be annoying, pick off what he can. Double Queens, they're about to pop for the Zerg player, and there they are. They'll be injecting here shortly. And these Zerglings in the natural not really doing a whole, or in the main, they're not doing a whole lot. Killed 3 workers. 3 workers for 3 Lings is a good trade. And the Lings are pretty much trapped in there. The Zealot's going to come in and try to deal with it. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And that Cybernetics core down now, so we are going to be seeing Stalkers ever so shortly. Zukas still has no idea about this third. I mean, he sees the creep, so he probably has a good idea. Like, okay, the Zerg's creep spread isn't that good at the 6-minute mark. But the +1 attack weapons going down for the Protoss player, and these two Zerglings are just being so annoying. So annoying for the Protoss player. The fact that he has to constantly deal with that. I'm kind of curious to see what tech the Zerg player is going to go for. If we jump back to his main really fast, we see 2 gases being taken in the main, 2 gases being taken in the natural. I'm really curious to see what his plan of attack is. He could go roaches, you know, but he doesn't really have a whole lot of scouting information yet. Mostly because the Protoss player hasn't really picked what he's doing. I don't know if you can hear the motorcycle out outside my window right now. Super distracting. I'm sorry about that if you can. You check out the drone count, it is 37 drones to 34 probes, and that means the Zerg is just slightly ahead in economy. The supply count is 53 to 40 in favor of the Zerg player. Wow. And Roach Warren now just on the way for the Zerg player with that spire, or the lair rather. So I think we're going to see some Roach speed. We're going to see some +1 attacks, and this Zergling is still being a bother. And he's going to get the scout off on these 2 gateways. He only sees one of them, but 3 gateways is still enough to realize, hey, he's probably going to push. Warp gate is about 75% of the way done, and as soon as that's done, I bet we'll see a push from the Protoss player, because that'll time up nicely with +1/+1. I like that the Zerg player is getting extra queens at his 2 other hatcheries to help spread that creep. Creep spread, so important for Zerg. Zergs forget creep spread way too much, in my opinion, all the way up to the pro level. So it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see Imyt here getting it. Good job, Imyt. +1 is now finished for the Protoss player. 2 Stargates are nearing completion here in the back corner of the main. Has this been scouted by Imyt? No, he has no idea. So this could catch him off guard. Now he's got a lot of queens, but other than that, not a whole lot of anti-air. Proxy pylon is down over here in the top left-hand corner of the map. Gonna be kind of curious. Metabolic speed is on the way, as well as +1 air weapons. So he's going to be seriously invested into these void rays here. They're going to have +1, and they're going to hit pretty hard. And still, Imyt, no idea. No idea about the other gateway over here. I think he might be potentially got caught off guard by these, but they're going to have to do some damage. I mean, the economy of the Zerg player is just way ahead right now. Now, 2 stalkers down here with +1 to the +0 of the Zerg. Zerg's got to be careful. He could lose his, you know, this is effectively his standing army. These 9 lings right here and these roaches. But +1 is not going to win this battle. Protoss's probe and the pylon are going to be taken out, and these lings will track down this sad stalker. He's like, guys, I just want to make it back to the cannon, and he can't make it. A 3rd cannon going down. I guess when you want to be safe, play super safe. Now look at this. I don't know if he got an inkling or what, but there are 2 spore crawlers building here at the 3rd. Now, there's no other spore crawlers going up, so it's going to be kind of weird. And this has to be a mistake, but a spawning pool going down. This must be the new double spawning pool build I've heard about. Or the 13 pool will actually build 13 spawning pools, you know, newbie style. And oh, are we gonna the fleet beacon? Baby, tell me we're gonna see some ranged upgrade. And the cybernetics core, he's gonna go serious into these air upgrades. It's gonna be air Protoss all the way today. He's gonna have 4 void rays in a second with +1. He's gonna have the fleet beacon, so I see him going heavy into those upgrades. Little cluster of roaches out here, about 16 in total, and 7 infestors on the way. Now those are going to help a lot. Those infested Terrans. Now what I don't like about this is that he got the pathogen glands, but he didn't wait to build the infestors. So now those 7 infestors, there's 10 infestors, are going to pop out without enough energy. When I play, I always like to wait for that, just so my infestors pop out ready to go. But you know, hey, Burrow just now finished up, and +1 attack is on the way. Now, this should catch the Zerg too off guard, because he's got enough stuff in defense here, and look at that. 6 infested Terrans, 5 infested Terrans. It's going to be just fine. And now the Zerg's going to come knocking at his door. Knocking at the door, and what's he going to do here? What's he going to focus on? Nothing really. Looks like he's really just focused on losing all this. Attacking the cybernetics core. I think he could get it if he sat there and focused, but is it really worth it? I don't know. He gets the cybernetic score before the upgrade finishes, but if we go to the units lost tab, Zerg about 700 behind, or in front of, however you want to look at it. Protoss player, so not the best trade in my opinion, as the Zerg is, or as the Protoss is getting started up, the Zerg's trying to attack it. But then again, you look at that Protoss, or the Zerg third over here, just completely saturated, ready to roll. Go to the income tab. Zerg could just keep rolling the Protoss. I think it's really funny. I don't think he's noticed that he's built 2 spawning pools yet. Now he does when he's like, oh, did I really? I do that too. You know, B and V are close to each other on the keyboard, so I'll go and hit VS and then just not even think about it. A little cute here. 2 burrowed roaches that the Protoss can't see because he doesn't even have a robo. But cannons finish. Things are fine. And the Zerg is going to take a 4th. So the Zerg is going to be going to Hive Tech. As his Hive just now started. You guys can call me a genius in the comment box. It's cool. And carriers. And a mothership. Carriers and a mothership, folks. So the air Protoss going hard in the air. That +2 level weapons is going to be done, and the interceptors are just building. But there's a huge stream of Zerglings down here at the third. Not the best place because, you know, Zerglings kind of suck against cannons, Void Rays, and Stalkers. But that's okay. Infestors here at the top. Are they going to cast the fungal growth? They're going to cast fungal growth on the Void Rays. All these Void Rays are getting trapped. They could die. All these Void Rays could go down. Loses one. Is he going to lose another? Maybe not, but he just casts more down into the abyss of the Protoss' third. And they're going to take out that cannon, and he's just... Look at all these infested Terrans. Oh my goodness, so many infested Terrans. He's just going to keep flooding units, folks. 10 roaches on the way. Hive is about done. The 4th base for the Zerg is about done. The Zerg is going into power mode here. So we have a 4-base Zerg against a 2-base Protoss. Supply stayed at 131 to 108 in favor of the Zerg player. But now here's the ticket. Those 2 more carriers are about to pop, and the mothership is about to finish. What does the Zerg player have to respond to airplay other than those infestors? Not a whole lot. I mean, that Spire, I mean, he's got 4 corruptors on the way now. But no upgrades. No upgrades. That's going to be huge in this battle. Just a random group of supply chilling over here. Says, hey guys, I want to play. But no, you can't play. So yeah, these 4 carriers are going to be moving out across the map here. Does the Zerg player have any idea about Stargates yet? Still has no idea about the Stargates or the fleet beacon, so I bet you these carriers catch him off guard. I mean, he obviously knows about the Void Rays, but I bet you these carriers catch him off guard. 4 carriers, a Phoenix, and a mothership. Wowzer. Where's the mothership? There she is. She's a beaut. I'd be curious to see how the Zerg player responds once he sees this. Zerg army down here, those guys that wanted to play in the corner took matters into their own hands. Attacking a refinery. And the +0/+0 roaches down there. Now here come the infestors. Catching a lot of those corruptors off guard. Losing a lot of corruptors for nothing. Or a lot of that health off that one corruptor for nothing. But as you can see here, Protoss main getting ravaged. Not the main, their third getting ravaged. But the infestors coming in with a good fungal growth and a couple of good infested Terrans. Corruptors are tearing through that one carrier. I'd like to see him throw down some corruption. Is he going to lose one carrier? Oh, but the mothership recalls. Very nicely done. Saves those few units right there. And 2 more carriers and a what is it called? A Void Ray. About to pop. As it stands, the supply count favors the Zerg 155 to 110. And if I'm not mistaken, the economy of the Zerg player is just bolstering in comparison to that of the Protoss. The Protoss held his 4th just fine. No damage taken off of that. It helps. Big thanks to those infestors. There's 8 of them right there. But, I don't know. I mean, it'll just kind of come down to see how the Zerg deals with this air aggression by the Protoss, because I myself have lost very many games due to the fact that the Protoss' air is just really good, and I don't know how to deal with it properly. The +3 air weapons too coming in for the Protoss is going to be a huge help. The fact that he doesn't have the Zerg player, that is Imyt, has no air upgrades, it's going to be really disastrous in the terms of an engagement. It would also be wise of him, since the mothership has in fact been revealed, to bring along a couple of overseers with this assault, put the huge Zergling run by. I don't know what he hopes to accomplish with this, since the third's not even up yet and he knows it. Unless he's just going to come try and break this so that he can further delay this expansion. But I don't know. It's still pretty cost-effective usage of supply. Clean up some cannons, clean up some pylons on the map. I like it, I like it, I like it. +1, +0 for the Zerg on their ground, on the melee, and +0, +1 for the range. But I'm telling you though, the air for the Protoss player could just roll the Zerg right now, in my opinion. If you go to the unit stat, what do we have? 8 Void Rays, 5 carriers, and a mothership. And this carrier's got the interceptors, man. Those interceptors are so powerful. I mean, it's such a good unit. Now the mothership, I like what he's doing for the recall. He can go out here, he can poke, and he can do some damage, and if things start to get bad, you just recall. But I don't know what his game-ending plan is going to be, because the Zerg's economy right now, now going up to the 5th base and the 6th base that are just now completing. Be really interesting to see how he plans on killing the Zerg that is just in pure economic mode. I mean, look at that economy, folks. 1,700 minerals a minute to the 450 of the Protoss. What? What? Zerg players should just stop harvester production and call it a day. And just keep pumping out units. The 200 supply army for the Zerg moving out with the 150 supply for the Protoss. Well, this 6th base is gone, baby boy. That's all she wrote. And all these Zerglings are going to be done. Not the most cost-effective usage of the supply here. Now here comes the Corruptors and the Infestors. This could be where the Zerg player makes his move here. Oh, but wow. What? Not a good engagement for the Protoss. For the Zerg player, Protoss cleans up a lot of those Infestors. Actually, every single Infestor. Every single Infestor? There's still 3 left on the field, but not enough to justify that engagement. Move out here by the Zerg player, trying to poke a little bit at this third. He's going to swing around here and hit the natural. Is the Protoss going to be caught out of position? Well, no, because the Zerg's not going to go in. I guess the Zerg doesn't have a huge standing ground army. Can't really do a whole lot about. Yeah, he's got what? A bunch of Corruptors and a few Infestors. It's not really push into a base and kill stuff worthy. There's 3 more Stalker, or 3 more Void Rays and an Archon on the way. And Protoss is now starting to go into the air armor. They have all the air upgrades, +3, +0, +0 for the Protoss. And oh, here is that mothership push. There is 2 overseers in the army, but I don't think that's going to be helpful, especially with the power of those Void Rays. They would just take them out in a heartbeat, and then the Protoss, or then the Zerg army would just get rolled by the Protoss army. 9 Broodlords on the way against an air army. Okay. 9 Broodlords against an air army. This will be interesting. There's not a whole lot of tier 3 for the Zerg that helps against this kind of push that we're seeing here, and I doubt Broodlords are in. But we'll see. Big engagement incoming here. This really could be it. Pretty good concave there for the Zerg, but I mean, as I've said, I don't know what the purpose of the Broodlords are really. Take out the Archons, yeah, sure, I guess, but I really see these carriers rolling the. Well, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting period of supply here. 102 supply for the Protoss, 143 for the Zerg. Supply's dropping. And who's going to pull out ahead here? It looks like this Protoss player is going to win this battle. Probably just take control of the game with this huge army. Those Broodlords are going to be absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless. They might kill a cannon or 2 off down here in the main, or in the third of the Protoss, but the Zerg just bungled that attack, man. bungled it completely. Now you can see that the Zerg is in panic mode. 20 Corruptors were just on the way, 17 now. I just don't get it. Why on earth you would do that attack? But now these carriers are going to start to... Oh, sorry. These carriers are going to start to march their way over to the 5th, and they're going to kill that base off pretty lickety-split and take care of those Corruptors that are just now popping. Now here are a bunch of Corruptors. And how are they going to do against the fully charged Void Ray army? Looks like they're falling quickly, but looks like there's going to be enough Corruptors with their +1, +0 attack. And another mothership is about 50% of the way done, by the way. +2 attack for the Zerg is about finished. Now this base is up and running for the Zerg, so these drones right here, they're going to get over there nice and fine. 5 bases to 3. You still look at the income. The harvester count is ridiculous. The income numbers are actually a little low because of the transfer going on of 11 drones, but the harvester number is actually wildly high. So the Zerg is in good shape there, but another bad engagement like that just gives the Protoss a way to come back into this game. Kind of reached a lull here while players are just both building up their forces after a big attack. 2 Void Rays at a time. Well, now 1 Void Ray at a time. I look like a fool. But the Protoss is starting to get a little gas starved. He's going to want to be taking a 4th. As I say that, drops the pile, but so cute. He doesn't know yet, but so cute. He's doing a good thing, blocking that expansion. It's really going to piss the Protoss player off. I like the inclusion of the Archons here. The getting the High Templar and then mixing them in the Archons is going to be really strong against these bunch of Corruptors. I wonder if Imyt had to do it over again, would he have just made all those Corruptors and not Broodlords? Because if he keeps those Corruptors, he wins that air attack and then just makes Broodlords and wins the game. But here it comes. Looks like we're going to see a little other engagement here. And oh, he backs off at the side of the mothership. That was a smart play. The mothership would have just turned the tide of the battle there, especially all these cannons. I mean, 6 cannons, 7 cannons there. Probably not the best engagement for the Protoss, or for the Zerg player into the Protoss. This 4th is now going up, and if this 4th gets up and running, Protoss is in this game. He was behind way early because of the economy, but he made his way back after the huge blunder by the Zerg player. So if he gets this base up and running, I'd say he's got an actual chance of winning. But right now, the economy of the Zerg is just something to be reckoned with. 400, 600 more minerals a minute than the Protoss. It's hard to lose that battle. When you can have 6 more Corruptors a minute than your opponent, it's really hard. Difficult to do. 17, the supply count has been cut down to 17 for the Zerg player. Protoss player has been playing a little bit of catch up. I'd like to see him move all these drones over to this base so that reduce that saturation, get a little bit more money. But the Archon's coming over here, getting a little cocky. I like it because, well, they can't really be touched by the Corruptors, so might as well just go over there and fight them. Oh, that was funny. One of those Archons scared of one little infested Terran. Tee-hee. But, okay, now as the ship's moving out, looks like the Zerg is going to get attacked by the Protoss here. 7 roaches on the way for the Zerg player. Realize he's got to be able to respond to the ground threat of the Archons. Kind of curious. I want to see a vortex. I want to see the Archon toilet. Really bad. Really bad. Go to the units tab. The 7 Void Rays, the 2 carriers, and the mothership are going to make for a formidable foe. And then those 4 Archons, please, baby, get into that vortex. That would be game over, I think, because then the Protoss could just march down and just take out bases. 2 more broods, about 50% done, and when they pop, I could see the Protoss starting to pick away, or the Zerg starting to pick away the Protoss. But then the Protoss is going to have the counter. He's going to have to march up, and here he comes. Yep, and here he comes. Da 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 da. And vortex. Or do it. Oh, I'm going to look like a fool. But the mothership goes down, and I don't think there's enough for the Protoss here. I think this is probably finally going to do it. Great hold there. Way to recover from the bowels of defeat for the Zerg player. He was ahead economically all game. I guess he probably wasn't worried about a darn thing. But, you know, to see him take out that army with such ease is really nice for him, probably. Supplies plummeting for both players, actually. 95 for the Protoss, 128 for the Zerg. But the Zerg's got 42 Lings on the way, 3 Broodlords. I think they're just going to run down here, pick off some bases. And this is probably going to be... We're not far away from a GG. Just once again, like the economy. Oh, but then again, looking at the economy, this little attack is doing some damage here. Protoss is now in favor in the Harvester count, which is not the case. Which was not the case a moment ago. And all these Lurglings are going to get caught up by the Zealots on the Archon. Supply's not that much different than it was a moment ago. It's much different than it was a moment ago. 100 to 78. Only a 20 supply difference, really. I don't know. I could really see the Protoss making a game of it now, I guess. This has kind of been one of those really weird games where you just think the Zerg's got it in the bag. How could he possibly lose? And he might just lose to the early air from the Protoss player. 3 more Void Rays on the way, 1's popping, 2 more are in production. Love to see him get that Anion Pulse upgrade. But looks like the Zerg is going to move out here again and decides absolutely not to +2/+0 Stalkers. Or why do I mix those up? +2/+0 Zealots with charge, and Blink is almost done for the Protoss player too. So the Protoss player could really transition into whatever he wanted to at this point, which is usually a great trademark of the Zerg. So these cannons are going to do just fine to hold off for now. But here comes the assault. 4 Void Rays are attacking the Broodlords. Carriers going down, but an extra couple of Void Rays are going to join the assault. And I think all those Corruptors are going to go down to the carriers. And now the Zerg's got to be feeling in the last ditch effort almost. What's he producing here? 30 Zerglings. 30 Zerglings on the way. And a Roach. Zerg's starting to get starved for money. If you look up there, only 100, 200 minerals. Because he's not mining from this base. That's actually going to die now to the Void Rays. Great fungal there on the Void Rays. And a Corruptor dies for no reason. But that base is going to go down. And then all he's really going to have left in terms of mining are these 2 bases. And a bad rally there, causing some Zerglings to go sacrifice their life for no reason. But with that base dead, things get a little more complicated. Protoss still in favor of the worker count, with a 4th base up, so he's mining off of 2 full bases. Same as the Zerg at this point. I'd like to see him come up here and take this as a 5th. And then we're in split map, and that's GG. But Zergling run by. There's enough cannons here to make that dumb. And he pulls out after realizing it. And the Zealots are going to come down. There's enough cannons down here to make it dumb. But stop micro, or hold micro as it were, on some of the probes. A little bit of indecisions costing some probes their life. But it looks like the Protoss is just going to march right into the main of the Zerg. Infestation Pit going down Spire is soon to follow. But we have a Roach counter over here in the bottom right-hand corner. There's action all over the map, actually. The Roaches can take out this base, that would be huge. But what's going on here in the main? The Greater Spire is about to fall. The Greater Spire is about to fall, folks. There is one Spore Crawler attacking here, but this base stays thanks to the help of a bunch of Zealots and 3 Void Rays. The Greater Spire has fallen, and the Hive is now under assault. This could spell GG for the Zerg player when he had such a huge advantage. Such a huge advantage. 1 Corruptor on the way, not going to matter. We have the 4 Queens trouncing in here with support from the 2 Corruptors. But I think the damage has been done. There's no more tech, really, that's going to be beneficial. All the Protoss player has to do now is he just has to make Void Rays, and this game's over. The Protoss player's kind of done the impossible and came back here, and when this mothership pops, I don't know what nexus he's making it from. I guess it doesn't really matter. When this mothership pops, that'll probably spell disaster for the Zerg player and be the end of the game, if it even lasts that long. As you can see, the Protoss are starting to take a 5th, realizing that the game is nigh. He has a 20 supply lead over the Zerg player. What's the unit tab look like here? 7 Corruptors to 6 Void Rays. Void Rays win that battle. A carrier. Versus an Infester. I think this game's about over. These Roaches are being cute because the robotics bay was never built by the Protoss player. A little bit of a move out here with the remaining structures. I mean, all those Zerg players got left is roaches and queens. 128 to 129 supply. Supplies are virtually even. Plus so roaches sitting here at the 4th trying to take them out, but these zealots are going to come back in the void rays and they're going to be done, baby boy. Not a whole lot else going on the map. The Zealot is going to go in and scout the Zerg. That's what I meant to say. I get so excited. I get so caught up, and that Zealot's going to meet the end of his life, but not before he scouts the entirety of the Zerg army. That's it, folks. That's what he's got. That's the army. Call it a fight. That's the army. Now this 5th is going to get up, and this 5th is as secure as a 5th gets in this game, man. I tell you what. 150 supply for the Zerg to 116 of the Protoss. He's brought it back. But most of that's in roaches, and roaches aren't good against void rays. Because for those of you that are new to Starcraft, you see, roaches can't they can't shoot up. They can't. And void rays, well, they can shoot down because void rays are Imba. So as you see here, void rays marching into the main to kill the final tech structures. No more roaches for the Zerg. Zerg supply blocked. No more Zerglings or Queens. That doubles the spawning pool build. Didn't work out for him in the end. And there's going to be a final assault of a bunch of roaches down here coming on to the 4th. But little does he know, there is the Protoss force from Ire sitting above him. And this is probably going to be game ending here. He's going to try to snipe the 4th. I think that'll help a little bit, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference because the Zerg himself is starved. All the Protoss really has to do is just drop another one there, move all his probes up here. I mean, this base is virtually undefended because those roaches. I mean, what are they really going to do? Going to go up here, and he's just going to finish off the rest of the corruptors. His queens are going to be helpful, and they're going to be able to transfuse, and a lot of great transfusions actually going down. That one queen lasted what felt like forever, and I'm sure all these queens will last a really long time too, but I just don't think it actually matters. All those zealots, the army's just too big. 130 supply for the Protoss to 90 of the Zerg, and Zerg's got one last ditch effort. These roaches, plus that one investor, have to kill the entire Protoss, and Imyt leaves the game. Rage quit. I don't know how Zerg lost that one. Just a couple of bad engagements and letting the Protoss catch up by taking their 4th and taking their 5th. Protoss really abused the heck out of that Protoss air, getting all the upgrades, the +3. Well, it's got +3 upgrades, you know, and the 1 plating. Amazing play from the Protoss player to come back despite such an early economic disadvantage. Threw me all over the place. I had no idea who was going to win that game. But yeah, once again, this has been Imyt, casting for /r/castit. And if you like the video, upvote the YouTube post, put in the comment box like, "Yo man, you awesome! Yo man, you awesome!" See, it's that easy. You know, like, just amazing. Do it. You know, if you don't like the video, put some comments in there like, "Jordan, your voice, man, gross." Just do it. Let me know. I really want to hear, because like Sundance, I'll get it. Okay, I'll get it. Yeah, so that's been all for me today. I hope you enjoyed my casting, and I hope you come back and watch some videos in the future. Thank you, and have a great day.